Welcome to the inaugural episode of Between the Shelves, the premier Sayville Library podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by my co-host, Morgan.
Hi, everyone.
And my other co-host, Kristina.
Hello.
Let's start off by saying who we are and kind of what we intend this podcast to be. We are all librarians here at Sayville Library. Kristina and I work in adult services. Morgan, what do you do?
I'm head of patron services, so I run the front desk and the behind the scenes where the books get processed and all that stuff.
So with this podcast, basically my intention is we are going to introduce new staff members every episode, hopefully. We're going to talk about library-related stuff and non-library-related things. I'm going to highlight some cool things in our collection, hopefully. Talk to some interesting guests, maybe. And hopefully have a lot of fun doing it. So it's not going to be a bulletin. It's not going to be an audio newsletter. We already have both of those things. And if you're interested in those things, just go to our website. You can find them pretty easily already. Let's start off with just getting to know each other a little bit by just talking about what we're into right now. I can go first if no one's eager to jump for it. So if you've known me outside of this podcast, you know what I'm about to say. What I've been obsessed with recently is a game called Death Stranding. I feel like it's the perfect pandemic video game. It's a great time for the holidays, surprisingly, because it's a great game about connection with your fellow human beings. It's about family, and it's about ghost detecting babies and flying whales and throwing poop at enemies.
And walking.
Yeah, and lots of walking. So it's a very meditative game. I'm totally obsessed with it right now. And yeah, that's been pretty much consuming my whole life. I finished the game. I got teared up at the end. It's so good. I won't waste everyone's time by getting into it, but if you can play it, I highly recommend it. And other than that, we're in the throes of getting ready for the Oscars, so I've been watching a lot of movies. My favorites right now, currently, I haven't seen everything, but I like Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was a great movie. Turning Red, the Pixar movie this year.
Love that movie.
And yeah, that's one of probably the best Pixar movie I've seen in a long time.
Laughed. I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I had nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
And all the things.
It's
all the
so
feels.
good. And the last one that I've really enjoyed so far is All Quiet on the Western Front. It's a German film. So obviously it's a remake and an adaptation of the book. It's on Netflix right now, and it is fantastic. I'm not a huge war movie person, but it is the best war movie I've seen since Saving Private Ryan. So definitely worth checking out. And the last thing I'm kind of into right now, I'm a little late to the game, but I started Andor, Star Wars Andor, finally. I'm about halfway through. It's a little slow to start, but if you can make it through the first couple of episodes, it definitely becomes worth your time. So I'm really enjoying it right now. And I think it might be my favorite Star Wars thing since Disney took over.
My husband said that too. And I haven't watched it yet, but it's Star Wars without Jedis, right?
So far. Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's probably the best Star Wars that they've ever made, period, I think.
Wow.
We got great female characters. I really want more Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
If I can get a Mon Mothma TV show, books, anything.
She's the senator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the actress's name is, but she's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is kind of getting into spoiler territory, but not really. But I love how they're kind of showing how the rebellion is kind of getting started, and it makes sense the way they're doing it. It's not super high fantasy Star Wars soap opera-y. It's kind of this is how an insurrection would start.
Yeah, it's messy, it's flawed, so are all of the people who are involved.
I'm really digging it, and I love that there are no Jedis. I love that about this show. I'm getting kind of sick of the epicness of the Star Wars stories. They need to do more small stuff. So that's what this seems like so far. Again, I'm only a little more than halfway through, so I don't know where this is going, but so far I'm really digging it.
It's on my list, but really I've been obsessed with watching Wednesday on Netflix, so that was fantastic. I don't know if you guys have watched that one yet.
I've heard great things, but I have not seen it.
Oh, it's good. I mean, Tim Burton rules, so
Is Tim Burton directing it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did he do the movies? I don't remember. I don't think he did.
I don't think that he did. But
It definitely has a Tim Burton vibe to it, but I don't think he actually did it. So that's cool. Yeah, seems like a perfect fit.
Yeah, it's the perfect amount of creepy as somebody that is not huge into, like, the goriness, but I like the creepy psychological side of stuff. This has, like, the just right amount of, like, grotesque and, like, weirdness where, like, there's, like, a scene where someone gets their hand caught in a mousetrap, but it's not, like, super gory. Like, it's just literally, like, a mousetrap on somebody's hand and they're screaming. So It's, like...
How does it compare to, like, Stranger Things? Is Stranger Things, like, more gory and scary, twisted, or...
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Stranger Things, like, I feel like it took me almost the whole season to be able to watch what happens when, at least, like, the last season with Vecna, like, what he does to people when they're, like, just, like, snapping and all that stuff. Ugh. I could not watch that until, like, the very end of the season, where this is, like, not on that level yet. Maybe in future seasons, but not yet. So for the cozy watcher.
I'll tack it onto my list. What else are you into?
Okay, so I'm listening to the Harry Potter books on audiobook. So as I'm commuting back and forth to work, I just finished reading Archer's Voice, which is like a romance, and the main characters are like a girl who's gone through, her father was murdered, and he was deaf, so he spoke sign language, and so the romantic interest, it is mute, and he speaks sign language too. So it's kind of cool because I've never read a book with a main character that both of the main characters will speak sign language to each other. Like, she's hearing and speaking, but she knows it because that's how she communicated with her dad. And then the love interest is, yeah, he's just mute. He had like a horrible accident, and his injury made him not able to speak. So
sounds interesting. How do they handle the communication of sign language in, like, as dialogue?
It's italicized.
Oh, okay.
So it flows like a regular conversation, and then obviously, like, sometimes she'll talk and sometimes she'll sign, so that would be the only person that's kind of doing both. So they'll just have just the sign language parts, like, italicized. And strangely enough, it doesn't get confusing when they're having their own inner dialogue with themselves.
Yeah.
Because normally that's italicized too, so...
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, a friend had recommended it to me. She's like, this is my most favorite book in the whole world. And if you like romance, it's definitely worth a read. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. And then to completely switch gears, because I've gone from Harry Potter to romance, and now we're going to another audiobook that was recommended to me by the director, Jen, is An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good. And it's translated from Swedish, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But it's about an 80-year-old lady who's murdering people and getting away with it. And Cool. It's a short novella. I think the audiobook's about 2 or 3 hours long, very short. And it's ridiculous and amazing. And makes me afraid of some people in our building that are 80 years old and may or may not be murdering people.
That sounds like it'll be a Netflix show within a year.
Yes, it should be. It should be 100%.
Cool. Kristina, what are you into?
Right now, I'm all about Crisis Core Final Fantasy Reunion. I think that's the Final Fantasy VII Reunion, I think is the whole title. It's a remake, kind of remaster of the original Crisis Core, which is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. I'm just a really big fan of Sephiroth, the big bad from Final Fantasy VII, and this has a lot of, like, backstory, and it's very 2008 when it came out, so everybody has flip phones, so you get to talk on your flip phone. You get to.
I'm glad they didn't update that.
They did not update that. You get to read emails on your flip phone from your boss.
Was that... That's the one... Who's the main? Zach?
Zach, yeah.
Oh, it was on PlayStation, PSP,
Portable,
right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that game. Like, I have replayed that game multiple times a long time ago, but I still do have it, and I didn't know that they remade it.
Yeah, I only first played the original last year, and I was like, it's on PSP. I don't have a PSP. Like, there's no way to get a hold of this.
I'm the loser that got it for a Kingdom Hearts game that exclusively came out for PSP because Kingdom Hearts loves to destroy my soul and make me buy a console for everything just to play one game.
You're not the only one who got in that trap.
Yeah.
They don't get, now they do. They used to not get me with every console for Kingdom Hearts, but now everything is canon. As a kid, I was like, I don't need to know that story. Who cares?
Did you get the DS? Because I did not. That was the one thing, which I guess, like, there was, like, 3 games, I think, released on it, but I could not bring myself to buy a DS just to play Kingdom Hearts.
No, because in my mind, I decided that all of the non-numbered Kingdom Hearts were unimportant. So I actually only played
You had
those.
standards.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, there's a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game? Well, guess what? It's canon. You have to play the whole thing.
That is literally just playing the first game over again, except you get a 3-minute cutscene at the end that explains nothing. Like, what is the black box? What is it? We still don't know.
We'll find out. No, maybe one day.
In 10 more years when 4 comes out.
Yeah.
Who knows? It'll be a red herring. It's not even important.
You're just going to create more time loops and spawn more non-canonical games and then make them canon, so you have to go back and buy them.
Yeah. There is a Verizon Vcast Kingdom Hearts game that isn't canon and has been, like, lost because it was only available on, like, Verizon flip phones, and you had to use the internet before, like, that was a normal thing, and it was, like, really expensive because you paid per minute.
Yeah.
Like, who did this? I want to know.
It's like lost media.
Hopefully somebody saved it and there's like a web version you can play online somewhere.
There occasionally, randomly, like people will release like a chapter of it. They're like, oh yeah, I happen to have found a chapter that I played that I downloaded on my computer for no reason. And they just posted to like Internet Archive or something. And it's like, well, what am I going to do with chapter 6 of this whole story?
Did you play the mobile game that, it's, man, what's the name of it? But it just keeps going on and on. I did, like, I think 400 missions, almost no story.
Yeah, and then they shut it down.
Yeah,
so you can't play it anymore. You can only watch the cutscenes.
Yes, and it was canon.
And it's all canon. You have to know. I had to watch it. I watched a 3-hour video on it so I could understand the story.
And then they have the card game that was also canon. Mm-hmm. So that's backstory for Xehanort, right? And
Chain of Memories is like important to Kingdom Hearts 2 because you have to play it to understand what is going on in that entire game.
I mean the mobile one.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That's Dark Road.
Dark Road, yeah.
That one's still ongoing, but they shut it down for a while so that they could release the last chapter.
I knew I picked the right co-hosts for this podcast because we've gone on a 5-minute tangent on...
And they're releasing a new Kingdom Hearts mobile game, Missing Link.
This podcast is just... We're rapidly going to leave the library and just go into a video game nerd podcast, I feel. And I'm fine with that because...
This will be like a Kingdom Hearts explanation.
Yes.
Podcast, except from people who don't really understand it at all.
I don't think anyone truly understands.
I would say that I understand about 60% of the story 80% of the time.
That's accurate. That's pretty accurate, I feel. Very similar to that.
So I have to admit, I never played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, but my equivalent is the Metal Gear series, which has 100 games. They're all canonical. None of them seem to connect in any coherent way. I've played all of them. I've beaten all of them, and I can't tell you what it's about at all. They make absolutely no sense. I bought a PSP to play one of the games, so I have bought in every PlayStation system because every PlayStation system has one Metal Gear game, so you have to buy the system to play the game, and fools like me will do it. So that's my, I guess, equivalent to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and you thought this podcast was going to be solely about Death Stranding.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Death Stranding is the new Metal Gear.
I'm ready to hijack anything to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Sephiroth is also in Kingdom Hearts, so
it just kind of all connects.
Everything goes back to Kingdom Hearts. I'm sure Metal Gear is in the Kingdom Hearts, universe somehow.
I have friends who will just text me any crossover of two things and be like, is this Kingdom Hearts?
We're all living in the Kingdom Hearts verse.
Then I have to be like, well, Donald is in Kingdom Hearts, and he does meet Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but this particular image has nothing to do with any of that.
And it's funny you say that Kingdom Hearts they haven't hit the real world yet, because they kind of are upcoming.
What is there real life people in it now?
It's a real life style. They haven't really explained what's going on.
Yeah, you just see, I guess I'm spoiling this, but really not, because if you don't know yet, you're gonna know now, but, I mean, Sora just appears in, the real world, in a major city, and, yeah, it's more realistic version. I do air quotes as I say that, but it's a more realistic version of what he looks like.
Here's how Kingdom Hearts will get me. I'm obsessed with the movie Alien and the whole Alien franchise. So Kingdom Hearts is, for those who don't know, it's half Disney characters, right? Or it's set in the Disney universe.
It's mostly Disney characters with a couple of Final Fantasy characters, and then as you've gone on, it's been more of its own cast of characters, but still going into Disney worlds. You're supposed to follow the Prime Directive, you're not supposed to interfere with the worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't really stick for very long. So all of the games do end up with Disney characters.
Okay, so if they cross over into a universe, Disney owns Alien now. They bought Fox, which owns Alien. So if the Kingdom Hearts characters go on a space adventure and end up on LV-426, the alien homeworld, and they get hunted by xenomorphs, make that canon with Alien, then I will be tied into it, and I will have to play all of the Kingdom Hearts games, and my life will be over.
That probably isn't so far from the truth of what will probably happen.
I guess they'd have to do Star Wars first. Have they had a Kingdom Hearts Star Wars crossover yet? That'll happen.
Not yet. It's been predicted. There have been many people analyzing images from the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer where they think they see an AT-AT foot
there's
or something.
Assets borrowed from one game into
Also, people are hoping for Marvel. It's also owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that. That would be so cool, taking down Thanos as
with Goofy.
Main... Yes.
Donald Duck.
And
with the power of friendship.
Yes. Love.
If Thanos just had a good friend to dissuade him from doing that, it all could have been resolved.
And if he just snap.
In Kingdom Hearts 4, there's a famous scene, I think, where Woody from Toy Story confronts Xehanort. And it's very jarring.
All right. Let's kind of I wish I wish I had a good transition, but we can just keep going deeper and deeper down this rabbit hole. Okay, so how can I tie this back? I can't. Oh, Sayville Fan Fest. Here, this is how I'm going to tie it back. You ready for my transition? So, we are all fans of many different franchises. One place where all fandoms came together was at the library's recent Sayville Fan Fest. If you had a chance to come, I'm glad you came. I think it was a pretty good success. It was back in the first week of November. It was our second time doing it. By some estimates, we had around 1,500 to 1,800 people throughout the day, including vendors and everything. So it was a lot of fun. We had stormtroopers. Princess Leia was there. We had the TARDIS from Doctor Who. It was a smashing good time. And I can't wait to do the third one.
Yeah, that was a really amazing day. I mean, I showed up about halfway through because I had been at a conference, but yeah, just even better than last year. It just keeps getting better every year. So Great job, Alex, because this is your...
I wasn't fishing for compliments. I was just trying to get us back to the library.
No,
somehow.
I know, but I feel like I have to say it every time we talk about FanFest. It's one of the coolest events, and all the other libraries are very jealous of it.
Yeah, the competition's heating up. A lot of libraries are doing this now, so we just need to keep raising the bar.
Yeah.
What else is going on at the library right now? I just did an AI class recently for AI artwork. That was really interesting, and I'm definitely going to be doing it again, hopefully in the next early 2023, because that technology is changing every day, and if I do this class again in 4 months from now, it'll be totally new. So I thought it was really fascinating, and it was cool, like, seeing what other people had made too. Like, a few of the people who came to the class had already been experimenting with some AI art and were kind of showing me some things, so it was really cool. Like, I think it's going to be changing, if not art, like, it's going to be changing media somehow. Like, it'll be curious to see where it goes. I think video might be the next step for the AI. Like, it'll start, maybe you can see, like, a band do a whole music video through AI art soon.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
I know that Lensa app has really blown up in the past couple weeks. I've fallen victim to it. I'm not going to lie. I have my avatars.
The app I've been using is called Dream by Wombo. WOMBO. It's free, and you can just keep making art. I just have it, like, you know, if my wife's watching Dancing with the Stars, I'll just be like, boop, generate art, just doing it on my phone aimlessly, and it's just amazing. The stuff that it makes, it's crazy.
So how does it work? Is it like you upload a picture of something, or you just start drawing and then it's improvising off of your drawing?
So this one's all text to image. So you type in a prompt and then it generates an image based on that prompt. So I can type in, like, me having a fun day at the beach playing volleyball in the style of a Kingdom Hearts game, and then hit enter or generate art, and then it will draw its best approximation of what it interprets that as.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Kristina, it should be you shaking hands with Sephiroth.
I would love that. My friends use it a lot to do, like, Gandalf having tacos with Frodo. And it's like, why? Why did we need this? And they're like, I don't know. I just wanted to know what it would look like.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. It's cool to see, like, an image that you have in your head, like, drawn out for you. I don't know, like, is that art if a computer's making it and all you're doing is telling it what to do, or is it more of a tool? Like, I don't know. It's,
as someone that does do art, I think we can all speak to this. I feel like it would be a good, like, if you were looking for reference material and maybe you weren't at the point that you could, like, visualize, like, Gandalf eating tacos with Frodo in your brain, but the AI can recreate that, and then you can go from there.
Yeah, using it as, like, a reference.
Yeah, like, that's where I would see the use in it personally, but I don't, like, as a creator. That's what I would think that I would find it most useful for, but I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Yeah, again, I have mixed feelings. I mean, I do illustration too, on, you know, a little bit. So I guess what I would use it for is to get inspiration, or maybe see some different styles, you know, based off, like, what I was trying to do. Like, right now, another thing I do is I design, like, board games and RPG games, and I'm working right now on a detective style game, and it's not really, like, a visual. I can't really, like, I'm having trouble visualizing, like, the world, so I'll use, like, the AI to kind of generate some, like, moods, and then I'll use, like, those as references for, like, my illustrations of stuff. So I don't know, I'm kind of using it as, like, a more advanced version of, like, just doing a Google image search of, like, creepy alleyway or something, and then kind of using it for inspiration.
Yeah, like, I like, maybe you can, like, I feel like I would also maybe, now that we're, like, I'm thinking about it as we're talking about it, like, I think maybe another good use for it would be if you have an idea in your head and you want to try and just quickly come up with, like, different versions of that idea. So you could be like you said, like, a dark alleyway with one streetlight, dark alleyway, it's raining out, and then you can kind of see, I don't know how accurate it would be with every single rendition, if it would be the same but like slightly different, or if it would just do something totally different every time. But if you could use that also as a tool just to kind of create quicker, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Just a thought. What else is going on at the library? Anybody else have anything coming up? Any interesting programs? Any sewing programs coming up?
No, I just did the last one of the year. We sewed drawstring bags.
Nice. Which
was fun. In January, it'll be get to know your sewing machine. So if people get sewing machines for the holidays, they can make an appointment with me and we'll sit down and try to figure out how to use the sewing machine together. Hopefully.
I think that's a great idea. I don't even know where to begin with all of that. Like, I'm pretty tech savvy, but I don't even know where to start with that stuff.
I'm having a trial run with teaching Marianne and Angela tomorrow from our teen department how to use them. So hopefully it goes well.
Nice.
Oh, if you need assistance too, I have someone in my department that's a sewer. Sewist.
Sewer.
Yeah.
He visually looks too much like sewer.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Definitely far from it. But yeah, he would definitely be able to help. He actually, Keith, he came in for Halloween with this crazy costume on it. It looked like it was professionally made. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. He's like, oh yeah, I made this. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I do this mission on the side, whatever. And it was just
much different skill set than I have. But also it sounds like we have someone to do that part for FanFest next year that we couldn't figure out this year.
Absolutely. I've always wanted to do a cosplay class. And we dabbled in that this year with the Hobbit capes. But
absolute disaster.
No, it wasn't a complete disaster.
Absolute disaster.
Although I didn't see any Hobbit capes at the FanFest.
No. Nobody finished their Hobbit cape in the...
It was a little ambitious.
Yeah. Capelets next year.
Yeah. All right. So right now we're recording. It's December 15th. We're approaching the end of the year, obviously. So I just want to talk about what are your favorite books of 2022? We'll hold off on movies and shows until the Oscars and the Emmys. That's when I like to talk about my end of the year stuff. But I have 3 books that really stood out for me. The first is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Do either of you read that?
I haven't read it, but you are the 4th person that's told me it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's on a bunch of best of lists that I've seen, and it's not a book that I would have picked up had my wife not bought it and recommended it. And I thought it was interesting. I'm always interested to see how authors tackle video games in literature, and it's a mixed bag, to put it in the best possible framing. Usually they're way off. It's somebody who isn't really familiar, just using it as a trope or something, plot point or something. But I thought this book did a really good job of not only representing gamers and gamer lifestyle, but also the development side of gaming and all the difficulties and troubles and everything that goes into that. So that's one aspect of it. But I also really thought it was a good depiction of friendship over a long period of time. It's not a romance novel, but it kind of is written as a romance, but as a friendship. The highs and lows of a relationship between 2 friends over decades, as opposed to a married couple or something. That was what kept me coming back to it even more than the gaming stuff, which is really interesting. But yeah, that one really, I think it's definitely deserving of all the praise it's getting. And it's a quick read too. I mean, I don't know, it's 300 pages, but it's very light and snappy.
Oh, I like that.
The other 2 books are not snappy at all. The next one is Crossroads by Jonathan Franzen. He wrote a bunch of heavy.
He's heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
I really like him. He's not for everyone, but this last book he wrote, which I think technically came out last year, but it was so late last year that I didn't get to read it until this year. It's set in the 70s. It's like a family drama with all of these. He writes family drama better than anyone I've ever read before, and every member of this family has their own baggage and stuff that's going on, but they're all there's 5 members of the family, and each one of them they could have a book just about their story, but he weaves them all together beautifully. And apparently this book is the first of a trilogy, and the second one should be coming out next year, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, Crossroads is excellent, and the last one is much lighter than the other 2. It's The 90s by Chuck Klosterman. Did either of you see this one?
No, but I saw it, I just haven't read it yet.
It's amazing. So, I mean, we're all born in the late 80s. We're all millennials. So we were very young growing up in the 90s, right? But I think we still have a nostalgia for it. I mean, that was like our childhood. So this book, The 90s by Chuck Klosterman, kind of approaches the 90s from a kind of pop culture-y lens. So it's super accessible. It's not a dry history at all. But he kind of like digs into like, I hate this word, but like the zeitgeist of the 90s by using like pop culture as lens. And each chapter kind of focuses on like a different thing. Like one will be about like grunge music, and one will be about like pop music, and one will be about like the movies, and one will be about like the OJ trial and stuff like that. So it's so delightful to read. It's fun. He's very funny. But it's so insightful. Like he really digs into like the mentality of a time, because this was like a time when he was in his 20s, I believe, or like 25 or something. And he was like, his career was blossoming then, and he was a writer for the New York Times and a whole bunch of other places. So it's really cool to get his perspective on like his mentality at the time and then reflecting on it. So I really, really recommend it. And the audiobook's great too. He reads it and he's really funny. And I don't know, I just really, really like it. I'm definitely going to read it again in a few years from now and kind of reflect on it again. But it's super fun, especially if you're a 90s fan.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I want to check it out. And I always love audiobooks that are narrated by the author, because then they're read in the way that they're meant to be
exactly
listened to.
And he goes on like tangents too. Like he'll comment on his own writing. It's just funny. It's just a great audiobook to listen to. And it never gets so heavy. Like you can just keep very easy to listen to.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about the books that, I guess my highlights for this year. Let's see. Scrolling through my Goodreads. Okay. I told you what I was listening to before, but I'm just about done with 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I have to say, I really liked that book. I had a couple people that had read it with me, because I'm in a local book club with people in my neighborhood, and some of them were like, whatever. And I was like, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I really like Taylor Jenkins Reid. I like the way that she tells a story. I love her characters. They're always like so fallible and raw and just real. Like, I don't feel like she skips the bad parts and is only fluff or good stuff. Like, it's a little bit of everything. Love the drama. And 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, as you can imagine, there's 7 husbands, so there is a lot of drama going on. It's about like a big like Hollywood actress. Oh, it's almost like similar. This person seems like a Marilyn Monroe like character almost, except they are like in their late 70s, 80s, I think, when the book is set in today times, and then Evelyn Hugo is reflecting back and narrating her and telling her story to a book editor, which I thought was interesting. I always love that when they like flash back and then they flash back to the present, and there's just like a lot of back and forth, which I love. And another book that I read that I really loved was The Four Winds by Kristin Hanna, and that's historical fiction. It's set during the Dust Bowl in the Midwest, and it's about like a family that's like surviving during it, and then they try to go to California for a better life. And it's just really interesting to read historical fiction about that time, because obviously like the story's made up of the family, but it at the same time it is telling the story of so many families and their experiences during that time. And there is the animosity that they faced from people that had moved to California just earlier than them, and now they're like, we're being swamped by all these people from the Midwest. They're trash. They are dirty. They carry disease, like all this stuff. And it was really, really interesting to see that for like Americans acting like that towards like Americans, but they also act like that. I don't want to go political, so I'm just going to stop talking. You can probably cut that out. But it's just interesting to see like that juxtaposition and then think about like, you know, other things that go on in history. And I thought it was interesting, the science of like a dust bowl. Like I didn't know that you could feel static and there's like blue electricity, and people would ground their cars they'd like put a chain from the bottom of their car that would drag on the ground to ground the car from getting electrocuted before the storm hits. I didn't know anything about that stuff, so it was very, very interesting and cool to read. And I breezed through that book in like 3 days. It was pretty bad.
That's a pretty hefty book, too.
It's hefty, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard great things about that. And I haven't read it personally, but I read a book, The Worst Hard Time, which is a nonfiction book about the Dust Bowl a few years ago. And I knew nothing about the Dust Bowl, and it was like shocking what they had to endure. Like, crazy. Like, people are drowning in sand.
And it was insane to learn that like it was because of the way that they farmed, and they hadn't learned like sustainable farming practices, so the dirt was so unsettled that it would just blow around, and it just like it was so interesting that the Dust Bowl was man-made. It was also unfortunate like weather patterns as well, and it just all turned into like a monster thing, but I thought it was very cool. And then the other thing, the last book that I read, super short, but I do love this author. She wrote the Binti series, and they're really short, like Afrofuturism sci-fi novellas. And this one is not part of the Binti series, but it's called Noor by Nnedi Okorafor. And I don't know, I just love her writing. I don't understand how an author can get so much story and so much detail and so much world building, especially for like a sci-fi universe, and have such like well-rounded, like well-built characters in like 200 pages or less. It's incredible. So I highly recommend anything written by her. And they're all like quick reads, but yeah, it's incredible. And I don't have much else to say about it besides that you should just read it.
All right. Kristina.
So I'm only going to talk about 2 books. Brandon Sanderson just finished up the second era of his Mistborn series, which if you know anything about Brandon Sanderson, he has this like, all of his books are connected in a universe called the Cosmere, and some of them take place at the same time, but on like different planets, and some people can travel between planets and some people can't. And until now, they were all like separate. You didn't have to have read any of the other Cosmere books. But for this one is the first one where like they go to a planet that doesn't know about the whole Cosmere, and like all the things go down.
So this is like tying together all the books?
Yeah, but it's not the end of anything. This is just like the first instance. I think this is another thing where like people who can travel between worlds are supposed to follow the Prime Directive. They're not allowed to interfere. But they do, because the worlds keep going into danger. And these ones are sort of like, this is the Wax and Wane series. So they're sort of like Westerns, and they're like lawmen, but they can like burn metal in their stomachs to do magic.
What?
Yep. Sure.
You know.
Makes as much sense as Death Stranding.
Yeah. So this is like wrapped up that series, and it was very good. I cried at the end. But it was sort of like a preview of what's to come in like all of the next eras of books. He's wrapping up another of his like eras in a different series next year. But I love Brandon Sanderson, and I love big worlds with lots of mythology, obviously.
Yep. It's evidenced by your Lord of the Rings paraphernalia every day. Yep. And tattoos.
And tattoos. The other book is a weird read for me. So this year, a book called Meet Me at the Fountain came out. It's a nonfiction book about the history of malls. And in the mid-aughts, when I was a teen, I was a big mall kid. I had to go to Hot Topic and buy my Fall Out Boy shirts and my hot pink plaid. Spent a lot of time at the mall. That it was just a really interesting read about, it was written by like an architecture critic, but it was how malls came to be, just like their function, and then like the rise and fall and maybe rise again of the American shopping mall.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. And it's like, there's like all of these specific terms of like how malls operate. Where like when you go into a mall, and like, I can't remember the exact like phrase that it is, but when you go into a mall and you switch from like going to the thing, going shopping for the thing you go there for, to like just wandering around.
Browsing.
Yeah, I think it's called the Gruen transfer, and Gruen is like the architect of malls. So now like every time I go to a mall and I'm like, I'm here for one thing, and then I end up elsewhere, I'm like, oh, that Gruen transfer got me again.
Gruen!
But it was really good and like just very like accessible for someone who doesn't know anything about
architecture. It might be a good pairing with the 90s, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big mall
that
time.
Sounds interesting.
There seems to be a theme here today.
Yeah.
Not with me, but with you guys.
You're in Afrofuturism, and we're reliving our past.
I'm just off with like cyborgs and stuff. I'm good.
Just hanging out at the mall.
Okay, so I can hear the next person who has this room booked eagerly waiting at the door. So we have one last segment, and we're gonna go through it pretty quickly because I can hear the people on the other side of the door trying to get in. All right, so I have a fun game. It's holiday themed because we have Christmas right around the corner. I call this game Faux Films, Santa Edition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name some movie titles, and you're going to tell me if it's a real movie or a fake movie. Now, I don't know, how should you buzz in? With a ho, 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 or do you want to say your name, or...
I don't know. We can't just yell it as fast as we can.
Yeah.
What, true or false?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do it. Yeah, let's just get going. Okay. Number 1. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
That's a real movie.
Kristina, on the board with 1 point. That's a real movie. 1964.
Wait, pause. Well, pause with this. What if we raise our hand and that's the buzzer?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then that way you can add a buzzer noise in.
Okay.
If you want.
I'll tell the engineer to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next. The Naughtiest Reindeer of All.
False. Not a movie.
You're supposed to raise your hand.
You didn't even raise your hand. You made up the rule.
That's correct. It is not a real movie. Tied.
It's
tied 1-1. All right, next movie. Christmas Eve of the Dead.
I'm going to say that's a real movie.
It's not a real movie.
Well,
it's
it
false.
should be.
It should be, absolutely. So I guess I'll give Morgan the point for that. Is that fair?
No point?
Because it could either be true or false. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. All right. Next movie. Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. Morgan.
True, because it's ridiculous.
It is true. 1972. Santa Claus finds his sleigh stuck in the sand in Florida. Only the day before Christmas Eve. Spoiler, he's saved by the Ice Cream Bunny.
Is it a bunny made out of ice cream, or is it a
I haven't
bunny
seen
who
this
sells
movie.
ice cream? Wow.
I feel like we need to watch it in the next episode.
Is it lost media? Is that something that is accessible still?
Oh, I can guarantee no library owns that.
We'll see.
I can't guarantee that. Who knows?
Probably on Internet Archive.
Yeah. All right. I'm not keeping score anymore. I'm just going to run through these. I can't keep track. All right. Santa Claus Jr. Morgan.
False.
It is not a real movie.
Yes.
Good job.
Everything that seems real isn't real.
Fat Man.
I'm going to say that's true.
That is true.
It's true.
Mel Gibson plays Santa Claus. He is the titular Fat Man.
Oh.
Okay. Jolly, the Kris Kringle story. Morgan.
true.
That's not true.
What?
Made that one up.
Oh, man. That sounded so real.
All right. Only 2 left. We'll say it's a tie. Who knows? No one knows. Santa Claus versus the devil.
I'm going to say that's true.
That is true. 1959. Angered by Santa's do-good nature, Satan sends a bright red dancing demon to Earth on a mission to ruin Christmas. However, Santa is not going up against these evil forces alone. Merlin the magician is on his side.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, it definitely checks out.
All right, last one. Santa with muscles.
Absolutely true. I'm just going to say it's true. It has to be.
It is true.
It's ridiculous.
Santa with muscles. 1996. A heartless millionaire, played by Hulk Hogan, believes he is Santa Claus after an accident renders him amnesiac? He has amnesia.
Yeah.
Starring Mila Kunis as well. One of her first roles.
Almost for all the SpongeBob fans out there, I just picture Santa with anchor arms on, and I just can't.
You wouldn't be far off, or at least judging from the cover.
That's why I needed this to be true, because that idea needed to be true.
Well, you're in luck.
Hogan, so.
I'm pretty sure it's available on wherever you can find your movies. All right, that's all I got. That's my game.
Yay!
So is there a prize for winning?
The prize is you get to come back to the next podcast episode,
okay.
or not, depending on whether you won or not. That was it. That's our first episode in the bag.
It's super exciting.
Yeah. So stay tuned. If you want to contact us, listeners, you can email us. My name's Alex. You can email alex@sayvillelibrary.org. You can get Morgan at...
Morgan@sayvillelibrary.org.
And Christina's shaking her head violently, so you're not going to be contacting Kristina. But if you have any suggestions for games, if there's anything you want us to talk about, if there's anything you're curious about, we're open. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned.
See you next time.